All right, welcome to halfway point in the course Advanced Lifestyle Medicine. We're on Module 5, and actually I'm going to combine Module 5 and 6 for this introduction because it's just a continuation from one module to the next. So you're halfway. Good job. You made it that far. This is where we start laying some foundation also for some of the additional courses that you'll take in the program. Of course, what we are focusing on is lifestyle medicine activities for folks who have chronic disease. We're also, of course, talking about those without chronic disease, but we want to talk about some specific chronic diseases so that we have an idea of what those are about foundationally before we start applying some of the lifestyle medicine components to those. It'll give us a greater appreciation for why lifestyle medicine activities or healthy lifestyle behaviors work and help prevent, decrease, reverse, mitigate, whatever you want to use for terms for those chronic diseases. So what are we going to talk about as far as chronic diseases? This was tough. We really have just 2 modules to try to get our arms around a lot for chronic diseases, and I felt like we really only had time to cover 3 conditions or chronic conditions for each module. So we start the first, or module 5, with depression, irritable bowel syndrome, and obesity, and then module 6 then covers hypertension, type 2 diabetes, and then coronary artery disease or atherosclerosis or cardiovascular disease, I guess in broader terms, but we're going to stick mostly with coronary artery disease and try to hopefully give you an appreciation of the difference between the 2. So as far as information that I would hope that you appreciate by doing these 2 modules is what's at least the basic pathophysiology of the conditions. What are some treatment and prevention current therapies recommendations for those? And then probably most importantly or applicability for these would be what healthy lifestyle behaviors have been shown to be effective for these conditions. So these conditions then will also be covered again in your subsequent courses in nutrition for chronic disease and exercise for chronic disease. So what we will talk about here will not be repeated necessarily there, but the references that we're going to cover in these next 2 modules can then be used for those courses also. So that's kind of the idea of it. One of the things that I felt would help you demonstrate to me your knowledge of this. Instead of giving exams for this, it's so much better if we apply it. We can certainly memorize facts and repeat them back on an exam, that type of assessment, but I thought it'd be more appropriate and at a deeper level is if you did something such as demonstrate that you understand the knowledge in a way that you could teach someone else about it. And of course, memorizing about a chronic disease, facts about a chronic disease is one thing, but then when you have to actually communicate that information to someone who actually has that chronic disease, that's a whole nother level of depth of knowledge. So that's really the purpose behind the assignment for this section, for these 2 modules, is that pick one of the chronic conditions for each module. So for module 5, pick either depression, irritable bowel, or obesity, and videotape yourself doing a 3 to 5 minute video explaining that to the camera, to me, but as if I were a patient, about the condition. So this is hopefully not something you're going to read off of a script, but that you will actually be able to talk about because you know it well enough to be able to do that. So then what you will do then to take that at another level is critique each other. Again, another level of learning, especially at the graduate level, is to learn how to critique others. So your first video will be due on Thursday evening, and then your critique of your partner will be due on Sunday evening. So that gives you both that opportunity to do the teaching and the opportunity to critique the teaching for your partner. And it doesn't matter to me if you're doing the same condition or different. That follow the rubric on as far as what we're looking for, and that's certainly the amount. The content has to be appropriate, but there's other things like your style and your ability to explain and communicate. That type of thing is also very important. So that's kind of what we're going to do the next couple modules, and I'm excited to see what your videos look like. Hope you have fun with this project. Hope you don't stress out too much about it. It's a learning experience for all of us if you haven't done this type of teaching before. And I know it's probably a little awkward to do it on camera, but that's okay. This is a good place to practice, because as you matriculate on, you probably have to do it with somebody real. So this is a good place to start. So if you have any questions, as always, let me know. And I look forward to watching your videos and reading your discussions and reflections. Thanks.